Okay. How do you set the mic for this? Oh, okay. Okay. Mm, exactly. Okay. I think just hope this works. Can you join? Speak. Can you join the panel and speak? You just speak. Yeah. You join. Just speak so that we can know that the thing is working. Okay. Can you check the list of because sometimes we need to promote. Okay, I see that. One of them is yeah. This is one. Check academic job. Ah, okay, yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah, because this is speaking from the energy. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay, we have Basit. Hello, Dr. Basit. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
And we can use can use okay. Okay. You understand? Yeah, we can just sit. Thank you. They're always thank you. Thank you. Okay. Lê cho ai bảo ra thì cái ai là ủa đạp đến quốc kỳ là thì đi học là yes sir. Yes sir. Oh, listen them right. Make price now. Yes. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Prof. We can hear you. Good morning, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Good morning,
Good
Prof.
morning. Yeah, please. I'm trying to get my video. Good morning. Good morning. I'm trying to get my video working, but I don't know why.
What do you say,
My
sir?
video is not working. But I think I'm going to start because my video is not working. I couldn't get it to start. Um, do we have all the speakers here?
Yeah, good morning, Prof.
Prof, you can go ahead, sir.
I have the distinct honor and privilege to serve as the moderator of this important session, academic job hunting in North America. It's framed as a workshop, and we have four speakers lined up, but I understand there are only two present, at least on Zoom. If others are in the audience, please let me know. Um, the the topics for discussion this morning will include different processes and practices associated with applying for job in North America and also attending interviews. I'm going to introduce the first two speakers who are on Zoom, and I will introduce others as they join. The first speaker I'm going to introduce is Dr. Ajibola Abdurrahman of the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. where he is an assistant professor in the Department of Africana Studies. Dr. Abdulrahman.
I got 3 interviews, and the other year that I got almost 30 interviews. So that's why I want to emphasize some of the things I think work for me in the second year that I got many interviews. So the first thing I will suggest or I will mention is that each cover letter should be tailored for specific job position. Of course, it's tempting to use the same job cover letter for many positions, but at the end of the day, each of these positions has their unique expectation, and if the cover letter fails to address some of the needs of the department, then there might be some lapses. So it is important, and in doing that, so I would advise applicants to have 2 or 3 different cover letters, one that addresses the themes they are focusing on, one based on regional, whether African history or African diasporan history, because they have different requirements. And also, there are some job positions that require thematic focus, maybe slavery, gender, childhood, or even religion. So each application, each cover letter must kind of foreground what they expect to focus. So that's one important thing I think I want to focus on. So each cover letter must, first of all, focus on the job application. So each job description, they have what they expect of candidates, and it could be regional focus, it could be thematic focus, it could be in terms of courses to be taught. And if one does not adequately address some of these concerns, and it can basically affect. So another thing I will also mention is to understand the distinction between the research university and teaching universities. So for the research university, applicants may want to focus more attention on their research exploits, what their research agenda is. If they are completing their dissertation, they should make sure they bring out the contributions of their dissertation, of their research, and how they can move on from there subsequently. But for the teaching position, of course, they want to understand your research aspect, but the focus will be on teaching, because I have the privilege to teach in teaching liberal art college and also at research institute. So, and I understand that for this liberal art colleges, they focus more on teaching and the ability of candidates to demonstrate teaching technique that can serve the need of this liberal art college, kind of attract the prospective areas. So, and I think Dr. Michael might want to speak more on teaching philosophy, which is components of cover letter. Although some schools require separate teaching philosophy and teaching statements, so each cover letter must also have aspects of teaching statements, which will foreground teaching philosophy. And I'll leave that aspect for Dr. Michael Sidoro when it comes to discuss that in details. And also, another component of the cover letter that people often ignore is the recommendation letter. So recommendation letter cannot really be focus of my, no matter how important, how beautiful the cover letter is, if recommendation, if 1 or 2 of the recommendation letter do not arrive on time, so it's possible not to even consider the application altogether. And I'm talking from experience, because I mentioned first year that I got 3 interview out of 25 jobs I applied to. So I later found that some of my recommendations did not really arrive on time, and partly I can take the blame for it. Maybe I did not inform my recommenders on time, but I hope Prof can talk more on that. But perhaps the most important aspect of the cover letter is to always demonstrate competence. And the competence, I know why I said competence is very, very important. Competence in the form of confidence, because as Africans, especially some of us that come from culturally reserved and you want to be a little bit humble, that can speak to your competence, because in North America, people think if you look or if you speak too humble of yourself, they think you don't know anything. And so that's why in your you have to make sure that you present yourself as the best candidate they could get. Don't undersell yourself. Presenting yourself like your research is important. Make it important. Make it look important to them. Dr. Bassett, Prof is not there, so I don't know. Do I go on? He said 10 minutes, and I know I'm trying to.
Mhm. Well, I think you can actually proceed if you have other things to say. Maybe Professor Goodero is going to come back online.
Okay, all right. So thank you. So I mentioned earlier that teaching statements is a component of cover letter, and when I mention teaching statements, because if one is applying into an R1 or R2 universities, they still expect one to teach. And it's important to demonstrate excellence in teaching. And in doing so, teaching philosophy is very important. And one has to, first of all, think of the school one is going philosophy, where one sees students as part of the knowledge production, where a lecturer or professor does not just transmit knowledge to students, but knowledge kind of
Excuse me, I was kicked out of of Zoom for about 2 minutes. I think you are done with your time, Dr. Abdulrahman.
oh,
Right?
yes.
And now I think we have Dr. Kasim. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's just that because of time. Okay, thank you. Dr. Abdul Kasim.
All right,
Okay.
Prof. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for Goodero. It's actually 3:20 in California. I was over the his where you have, but it's I honored to be part of this panel. This panel is a way of like giving back from other people also benefited from as well. I personally would love to have this panel by expressing my gratitude to the institutions and faculty that supported my job search. These institutions, they invested in me while I was in the market, as well as this individuals as well. I would love to start my gratitude with Rice University, where I earned my PhD, but also Northwestern University as well, particularly the Institute for the Study of Islamic Thought in Africa and the Program of African Studies at Northwestern University. University of California, Riverside Center for Ideas and Society also supported my career search, my job search, as well as the New York University Center for the Study of Africa and the African Diaspora. Now, this institution, there were also a faculty and faculty they provided me with support of my campaign platform while I was applying for jobs. I would love to start by expressing my gratitude to Professor Moses Ochonu, who has been an amazing academic mentor of mine. Also, Professor Saida Derinto, Professor Sean Arenta at Northwestern, Professor Michael Gomez at New York University, Professor William Reno at Northwestern University, also Dr. Rebecca Shiriakis at Western. Rather have Kali, who is the librarian at Northwestern University, Professor Sani, Professor Zakaria Ahmed Selim, Dr. Ayobade, Northwest. Professor Usman Khan, Dr. Oludamini Ogunaike, Dr. Ayodeji Ogunaike, Dr. Judy Benjamin, Dr. Adimide Adelusi, Dr. Andrew Carrington, Dr. Ayana Flewervin, Dr. Jack Sasa, Professor Usena Alidu, and my peers who were not just academic friends, but they were friends who also supported me during the highs and lows of applying for academic, particularly Medina Chiam at New York University, Damilola Adebayo at York University, Brian Gimfey at University of California, San Diego, at Georgia University, Nairobi below at Ohio State University, Iber Boshe at University of California, San Diego, as well as Wali Walau. Thank you so much for all the role that you played in supporting me while I was applying for the job search. I'm just going to continue from where Dr. Ajibola stopped by speaking briefly about themes that I uh, what I'm going to talk about is was applying for academic job actually starts when you're about to your decision. So every single thing you're going to be doing in grad school, the moment you accept the offer to start your grad school, the graduate program, that is when your job search actually starts. So every single thing you're going to be doing in the grad school, it's conferences or in lectures, application, everything has to be tied to the goal, which is getting an academic job. Because unlike other professions or other fields, where there are multiple pathways for jobs, in the time we actually scientists, it's tailored towards applying for academic job. So it's so important that from the first day of grad school, you start building competitive record including going to the annual conferences, invited talks, but also networking as well. And it's so important that when you can names of the people that I've networked with over the years during the period of my graduate school. It's important that when you're networking, you don't network with aspirations in assets. People have to be able to vouch for you, have to be able to vouch for your professionalism, but also for your originality and and ideas that you're bringing, your novelty that you're bringing to the field. And I think that it's also very you carefully read the job ad and you know how to position yourself. So at going for when I at the time I was applying for job, the way I professionally position myself into trained field. So although I had my training in religion, I applied for jobs in religion, but I also applied for jobs in history department, and then I applied for jobs in African and African American studies, area studies. So the way you're going to apply for a job in department of religion